BMR-Farm.com and BMR-Odds.com, boys. What is going on? Welcome back. Episode number 146 of The Lobby. As always, Mr. Sam's in charge. You can tell he just got off work because he's looking really dapper with the suit on, but he needs to fix the hair.
Fix the hair. Bobby, you're the last person to talk about image. Speaking of, you fat fuck, thank you for the $250 in order to do this show. I don't know if you saw, but the price is going to be going up every couple weeks, maybe every month.
Going up.
And this is for your health. You know, I'm not a paid member. You're a paid member. You have a 4-year-long weight loss thread that you've gained 15 pounds in. And my goals aren't anything that's out of the possibility. I'm not telling you to lose 15 pounds in a week. I'm telling you to lose like 5 pounds in a week. It's been 2 to 3 weeks, and you haven't even hit below 240. So $250 in my pocket. I thank you, and I will continue to either hold out or make money from your lack of effort, you fat fuck.
Speaking of the weight loss update, I don't know if you boys can see that, or is it too?
I can with the brightness. What does it say?
245.4.
Jesus Christ, Bobby. You're going in the wrong direction. This is embarrassing on behalf of all of Forum. I know that I talk a bunch of shit in typing. I am saying it to your fat fucking face, SpongeBob Fatty Pants, from BMR Genie and everyone. Lose some fucking weight, put some effort into it, go out and walk, touch grass, go to the gym, do something. You are embarrassing yourself. Bobby, you are a year older than me, you are 2 inches smaller than me, and you are 90 pounds heavier than me. It's embarrassing.
When you put it that way, it does sound pretty embarrassing, actually.
It's very embarrassing, especially for a weight loss thread by BMR's own moderator, 4 years in the making, gaining weight. It's embarrassing. There's not enough adjectives to describe how sad, how embarrassing, how pathetic it is that you continue to not put in any effort, and then you gaslight the whole forum with these blanket statements of, I got to do better. I should be doing better. I mean, you know, we're flirting with the line of like genuinely attacking you and genuinely caring for you. You know, I mean, you know, there's a therapy, there is a psychological issue for why you are choosing to not lose weight and continuing to make these videos of you eating snacks and eating unhealthy foods. Again, if you were a TikTok star and these YouTube videos were getting you 100,000 likes, 500,000 views, you were making money, we would all support it. You are getting 20 views respectively, because I know no one watches this either, respectively. But if you were gaining money from this, we would be supporting you. You are not making any money.
Whoa. Technically, I do make money.
From the forum that you are now giving to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're making now, you're giving it to me.
Let's move on from this conversation. Right. Reload. What's up?
On to next week where I'll make another $250 or I will not make another video.
Reload. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, doing well here. Cash the Kentucky Derby and looking forward to the Preakness soon. And I got a big card of action tonight too. So looking to get back into this. And yeah, Bobby, you know, I know it's tough to stay away from Red Lobster and everything, but you know, it's a tough time of year. I know Red Lobster, all you can eat, Applebee's, all you can eat. It just never ends. It's tough.
No,
listen,
it is.
I smoke my face off every night, and I publicly talk about how much food I stuff my face with.
Yes.
Guess how much weight I've gained? I went out 5 nights last week. I went out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for my boy's birthday. Guess what I was doing? Drinking, smoking, and eating. I gained 2 pounds, and I've already lost it. So I truly don't believe in fat people unless like they have a health condition. I think that there's a way to lose it. I mean, if you look at Barstool Sports, Frank the Tank lost a ton of weight. Even Donnie, R.I.P. Donnie talked about how much weight he lost just by intermediate fasting. JDS is losing some weight. So I truly don't believe in fat people. I truly believe in lazy people and putting in no effort. That's why I call it out.
Reload. Let me jump over to you. Let's talk some Preakness, buddy. Probably the biggest thing is, you know, Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo is skipping the Preakness. What do you think? And any insights on who you like?
Yeah, well, it's not surprising. You see some of the better horses skipping the Preakness. We've gotten into this before. Triple Crown, really not the same anymore. Plus, it's being held in Laurel this year instead of Pimlico. Trainers just have their opinion. They want to look at the long haul of a horse, not really care about winning one race. But it is opening up opportunities for a big field of other horses to enter this. I'm still going over the list quite a bit. The post position draw was just yesterday. So I'm trying to let things sink in a little bit. But it should be, as they say, a good betting race with a big field and a lot of horses with a chance, really just a few lukewarm kind of favorites.
All righty, thank you. Sammy, over to you. I know you're a horse racing guy. Grew up around with your dad working the track.
My dad will be working on the Belmont too. Yeah, the Preakness stinks now, and it's really stinking that they're really taking the fun out of the Triple Crown. The Kentucky Derby had the highest ratings of all time. They had almost 20 million people watching it, and you're going to get, I don't even know, 6 million, 5 million people watching the Preakness. There's too much money in it now. So the reason why Golden Tempo isn't running in the Preakness isn't based off the health of the horse. It's because Golden Tempo doesn't want to lose, and then the value of the horse's sperm goes down. So Golden Tempo probably might not ever run again. But guess what? The owner, the trainer, is going to sell the sperm and stuff like that. They're going to make some breadwinners from it, and then the horse is still going to maintain the value. But if it loses in the Preakness, loses in the Belmont, then the value drops, which means the horse's sperm drops on all that, which really just hurts the sport, and it really hurts the the history of the sport. Because guess what? 2 weeks and 3 weeks is the same thing that all of the former Triple Crown winners have done. So it really does hurt the sport, the fact that they're holding out because they don't want to run in 2 weeks, and that they're trying to change it to 1 month later and 1 month later. You do have a couple Derby horses in there, and I know a bunch of Derby horses that'll be running in the Belmont, but it really stinks to the people that really like the history of the sport. With that being said, I am looking at Ocelli. I think that he's, the Derby is a set distance, then the Preakness is a little bit longer, then the Belmont's a little bit longer. So you got to favor the horses that are coming from behind. And Ocelli was a come from behind her, came from the back of the pack just to come in third during the Derby. So I like that horse. And then I'm looking at it Incredible at the 12 spot. So I'm looking at number 2 and number 12 right now. Still with a few days to go.
All righty. And Sammy, you were talking about, the trainers and owners selling the horses' sperm. What do you think your sperm is worth?
Unfortunately, it's worth nothing right now because I can't find a vagina to hold it to procreate. So, shooters shoot, and I'm certainly shooting off into my toilet.
All righty. Thank you, Sammy. Reload, let me jump over to you, buddy. Vegas Golden Knights, the series is tied up 2-2. They're going to be home tonight. I actually just looked up tickets. Not bad. I could go, if I want to go myself, go for about $100. I'm actually really surprised. They are nosebleeds, but I'm surprised the series tied up 2-2 in Vegas. The tickets are that reasonable. But that being said, what do you like tonight?
Yeah, I had a look at that game. I'm going to take Anaheim plus the I was able to get that at plus 142. I think, it's a pivotal game 5, like you said, tied 2-2. I think it'll be a tight 1-goal kind of game, and I'd rather go with the plus odds. That's been going pretty well for me, taking these road dogs lately in the last couple of rounds. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm also going to go with the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Got them at plus 128 at Montreal. They're down 2-1, and I think off the loss in Game 3, it was a 6-2 loss. Their worst. Their worst game in the playoffs so far, I think. So I think they should be roaring back in Montreal and get that series tied up.
All righty, thank you. Sammy, over to you. NHL playoffs tonight, what do you like?
Yeah, loving the NHL playoffs night in and night out. As always, I'm always opposite of Reload when it comes to our picks and stuff. He's an underdog guy. I'm a favorite guy. But here's kind of the reason why I like Montreal is Buffalo won Game 1 in a pretty tight game. Montreal's pretty much dominated Game 2, and they dominated Game 3. I know home ice doesn't necessarily mean anything versus other sports. We've talked about that. But Montreal has all the momentum. This is a must-win game for Buffalo, so you can almost play that side if you're leaning Buffalo. I kind of like Montreal. You can see the betting lines, too. It typically has been minus 110 pretty much every game. Now they're up to like minus 140. Maybe that's the betting public. Maybe that's because they just won 6-2. But I'm going to follow the Montreal trend and go with them. And then going into the Eastern Conference potential finals against Carolina, that'll be a great series. I think the Avalanche have all the momentum against the Wild, winning game 4 on the road. I think they'll take care of business tomorrow. And then they're going to end up playing Vegas. I'm going to take Vegas over the Ducks. Might go 7 games there, but I think Vegas, they do have a little bit more experience over the last decade in the playoffs. And I'm excited for that Final Four. And I do have some future picks on the Avalanche. For me, I'm rooting for the Avalanche to take down the Stanley Cup.
All righty, Sammy, thank you. Reload, let's jump over to you. We got one game in the association tonight, Minnesota and San Antonio. Minnesota is getting 10 points in this one with a total sitting about 218. I think that's a lot of points for a playoff game, but where are you leaning here?
Yeah, it's a high number for sure, especially for a pivotal game 5. I took a good hard look at that. I ended up deciding to go with the under instead. I took the under at 219. I think that there's some value there because the last few games have all gone over, and that's going to jack the total up a little bit here. I think anyone taking the over now is getting taxed a little bit. A game 5 should be tighter. I think it could be a close game and definitely within 10 points, but I'd rather take the under. I think that works out better. Also, tomorrow night, the next game with Cavs and Pistons, I took an early look at that. Haven't made a play yet. I'm open the line. If the line goes down, I might take the Pistons. Like if it went down to, say, -3, last I looked, it was still sitting at 4. So still waiting that one out.
All righty, Reload, thank you. Sammy, let me jump over to you. Spurs game tonight, what do you like? And I need to apologize to you about the Knicks.
Well, what are you apologizing for? Apologizing that they have a 7-day off rest? Apologize that they're going to be super healthy to take down whoever decides to play them in the Eastern Conference Finals, whether it's the Pistons that we smoked last year in the playoffs or the Cavs that has James Harden that just doesn't have any ability to make it to a finals. I actually think it's great that the Cavs and Pistons, I think it's going to go 7 games. I think you're going to see every home game win. It's already 2-2 with all 4 home games winning. I think the Pistons will win tomorrow. Cavs win game 6. Whoever decides to win game 7, the Knicks are going to win in 5 or 6 games, maybe even 5 games. Arguably, the Knicks could be 8-0 in the playoffs right now. I know I'm a biased homer, but the Knicks arguably could be 8-0, even 8-1. So, you know, they are definitely the team to beat in the East. As far as the West goes, I do like the Timberwolves tonight, +10. I think the Spurs are going to end up winning. I do have Spurs futures, so I'm hoping that they win the series. I think they'll win 4-2. How about Wemby with that elbow? He's lucky that it didn't clock him. He made some contact to deserve the flagrant 2, but man, if he really impacted his nose like he was gunning for, he would have gotten Ron Artest like 7 games suspended.
Right.
Interested to see. That was his first ever suspension. I've never seen him kind of be emotional like that. But it's tough for a big man. You see all the scars on his arm. I mean, these guys get beat up with the physicality down in the paint. But for tonight, I do like the Timberwolves +10 to keep it close. Spurs to end up winning. Spurs to win 4-2. We'll take the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to take the Spurs in the West. I do have Spurs futures, of course. That'll make things interesting. But yeah, I mean, Knicks and Spurs, if it gets to that level, of course, we're going to be back in the Knicks, and we'll get some money on them. So actually, one of my coworkers was in New York City this weekend on Sunday for Game 4 when they were in Philly. He was there for a Broadway show. After the Broadway show, he got to enter New York Knicks Stadium, MSG, for $10 just for a viewing party at the stadium or at the game. So that was pretty cool. $10 just to enter. They lowered the jumbotron. They had concession there. They had the girls throwing away the T-shirts. They had all the marketing, all the merch there. So I mean, if there's a way for me to get down to the city, depending on what the schedule looks like, if they were to make the finals, I am going to find any way to get close to that arena. The aura around it is awesome. I mean, the Knicks have won 7 playoff games in 15 years. Now we've won like 7 playoff series in the last few seasons. We haven't won a title in 50 plus years. Obviously, I haven't even been around, you know, for them making the finals during the 90s, during the Patrick Ewing, John Starks era. We had to go up against Jordan. We had Melo for a couple of years where we had some hope but never got there. This is the closest. Obviously, there is so much hope. You can feel the excitement and energy. I've been posting every time in the you know, post a picture where you are. Me and Phoebe doing our pre-game smoke session before the game. good juju. Man, a lot of energy, a lot of hope for the Knicks.
All righty. Thank you, Sammy. Reload. Let's jump over to the diamond, buddy. A little baseball. I know we got some stuff already underway, but what do you got today?
Yeah, I had to look at the baseball card. There's only one play I've got for tonight, and it's the Atlanta Braves. I took them at minus 116, hosting the Chicago Cubs. Now, typically, it's not one of my kind of plays where a team like the Braves went on this big road trip, and now this is their first home game back. Usually you want to avoid a spot like that, but the Braves did have a 7-game road trip earlier this season. They came back, won the first game, and they did pretty well on this road trip. They beat the Dodgers twice over the weekend. They're coming in with some momentum, and the Cubs aren't exactly a slouch team. I think they'll be up for playing the Cubs at home. So I like the Braves minus 116 at home, and I think the premium there is pretty low. I thought it should have been more.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, jump over to you on the diamond today. What do you got, buddy?
Man, Reload and I share the same pick. What are the chances? I'm also on the Braves against the Cubs.
No way.
I've been tracking my season-long thread. I'm 72-61 on the year. I'm minus 1.6 units. So, minus 1.5 unit for – 6-7 weeks into the season, so not bad. I'm 4-2 in fantasy baseball, so doing good there. I also like the Reds over the Nationals, Kansas City versus the White Sox, Seattle over Houston, and the A's late against the Cardinals.
All righty, Sammy. And if I could stick with you, tennis. How's the tennis thread looking?
Tennis is phenomenal right now. Man, some great tennis in Rome. Coco Gauff beat Andreeva in about 2.5 hours in an insane 13-minute game 10 to win that match to break. Coco was up 5-1, choked it, and then won on Andreeva serve. That was awesome. 26-18 in Rome, plus about 4 units. Got a few more days left until we go into the next week, and then we got the French Open starting in about 10, 11 days. Yannick Sinner is going to be like minus 10,000. Whatever his odds are to win the French Open, it's not enough. He should be minus 10,000. He hasn't lost a match in months. He has 6 straight Master 1000 titles. He's about to set the record for 35 consecutive wins in Master 1000s. Alcaraz isn't even playing. Djokovic has no chance to beat Sinner as much as I like Djokovic. Zverev lost 6-0 in the third set after losing 4 match points in a second set tiebreaker. Zverev is the number 2 choice. He's got no chance as much as I want to have Zverev win. I would love to see him beat Sinner. I'd love to have Sinner lose, but goddamn, he should be minus 10,000. There is no one that has a chance to beat Yannick Sinner. The battle is really going to be for the women's. That should be very competitive on the women's side. You definitely have 6, 7, 8 women that have a chance to win that, and I'll break that down next week. But yeah, a few more days left on the season. I'm plus 43 units. I'm plus 27 units on clay court and plus 4 units just in Rome. So keep it going. A couple more days for this tournament, and then I'll take a few days off. French fucking Open. We're gonna make it happen. Let's keep it going.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload. PGA Championship starts this coming week. What do you like? Who do you like?
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one. It's only Tuesday, so I think we've got a couple of more days.
Yeah, it starts on the 14th.
Yeah. I'm gonna just see. I've got to give that some more thought. But I do have a WNBA pick tonight that I wanted to share.
What do you
Shifting
got?
gears quickly for a minute. I do have the Minnesota Lynx plus 4.5 at the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury are playing third game in 4 days, and I think it's a little early in the season for that. I mean, what is this, the Maui Invitational or something scheduled here? It seems like. But Minnesota's off a loss to Atlanta in their opener. I think they'll bounce back in Phoenix or at least get the plus 4.5 cover. So little bonus WNBA there.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, PGA Championship starting on Thursday. Got any picks for us?
Yeah, I was hoping to have my PGA Tour Championship last Wednesday when I was supposed to play at Saratoga National, which is a 5-star spot in this area. They have a 677 Prime, which is a 5-star restaurant. You're spending $200 per person. The golf course is only $120 because we're preseason. It's about $350 during the main season. I've never played there before. We got washed out last Wednesday. We got rescheduled. We got lucky. We're supposed to play tomorrow. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow. Right now, it's 65 and fucking sunny. I can't wait. After I'm done, I'm literally going to the dog park. I'm going to my porch for like 2.5 hours. I cannot wait. But tomorrow it's supposed to rain. I am praying that the rain doesn't happen and I can play Saratoga National. If I can't, I'm going to be pissed off and I'm probably going to have to wait again till 2027. But with that being said, the PGA Tour starts on Thursday. I do like to live bet on the weekend. I don't necessarily love, I've talked about that in the Masters, betting big odds. I know, of course, you can get Ludwig Adberg at 20-1, and then maybe he's winning, and then you're getting him at 2-1 during, on Sunday. But again, rather than betting $50 at 20-1, I'd rather bet $200-300 on the weekend at lower odds. Of course, obviously that payout isn't as sexy, but but Cam Young, he's hot. He's won 2 straight weeks. Of course, Scotty Scheffler is the overwhelming favorite. Rory McIlroy is number 2. It's always going to be those same few names because what are you going to do? Bet against them? They can't give you Scotty Scheffler at 10-1 because they'd have so much they'd have so much overhead on that they don't want to pay that out. So he's always going to be 4-1 or 3-1. And Rory's always going to be 7, 8, 9-1 because they can't have that much overhead on guys like that. But if you're looking for an upset, there's always guys at 20, 25, 30-1. Find that needle in a haystack and maybe you get lucky. But Cam Young is that 3rd, 4th choice for me. He's super hot off the last 2 weeks and he'll be my lineups.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. And thank you, gentlemen, for your time this afternoon. We will see you guys on the farm, and good luck with all your plays.
Hopefully see you next week.
All right.